Welcome back, Ranger Nation, to another Raw review. And what are we Raw reviewing this time? We're going to be reviewing the legendary Megazord figurine. I mainly got this so I could do a direct comparison with the Japanese counterpart, which is this baby here. So let us get started. So you can see how the two Megazord figures compare up and whether or not it's worthwhile paying the import fee for the other one. Well, let's see. Once again, like it's seeming to be the standard for all these figures and minifigs and whatnot, it's steel with masking tape. So let's get in there, tearing off the maskinen tape. Like I'm going to keep the box. Move that off to the side. Got two sabers. Got the blister pack. Got the figurine. Put the sabers in his hands. Looks pretty sturdy plastic. Well, first off, let's look at the joints. We've got a nice, I want to say it's a bolt joint, but it's not. There's a swivel joint here for this little cup area here, the shoulder guard. Underneath the shoulder guard is another swivel joint. Yeah, there's no ball rotation, it's just a swivel hinge. There's a swivel hinge here at the elbow, about 90 degrees, all told. No back motion, of course, but it's an elbow. Actually, you get a little bit of back, but that's kind of going against the intention of the plastic. You have got, let me get that sword out of there, a nice 360 degree ball joint here in the wrist. Obviously, all the articulation is going to be the same on the other side. You cannot adjust the head fins individually, but the head is on looks like a 360 degree spin. The side bearings do cause a little bit. The side bearings here, you'll notice, do cause a bit of hitting point, but you should be able to work with it. You can also do a little bit of side to side, so not too bad considering the shape of the body. We've got a waist joint, so you can do a 360 spin there. We've got, I'm going to say a T-joint here for the legs. And you can move them out pretty far. You can do nearly a complete split. The forward and back movement is great. You can get a full 90 degree rotation forward and a full 90 degree rotation backward. So you get quite a lot of motion. There's a little bit of points where it hits, but you can get quite a lot of dynamic poses out of it. Knee's kind of stiff. Joint seems like it's a bit tight. That's why it's making a squeaking noise. But you can see you can get a full 90 degrees back. For the foot joint, there's no ankle rocker, but there's a hinge. It's actually built on a bit of a incline, so it doesn't actually sit flush. You have it in a standard pose. It's kind of leaned, it's kind of bow-legged in. Let me zoom the camera in for you. So you can see that, right? The feet are kind of tilted inward by their nature. Weapons can peg right into the hip joints, right there, any way you want. It's, what, $12, something like that? Not too expensive, really. As compared to its Japanese counterpart, they stand right next to each other. You actually stand up. As you can see, they're about the same height. There's a little bit more articulation on this. I did a full review. You can see it in my Raw Reviews playlist. So you can see all the details on this. But they're about the same. This is all plastic. This actually has some die-cast metal in it. This will probably run you $20 at most. This will run you probably close to $50. There's a lot more articulation in here, honestly, for what it is, I'd say go with the domestic import. It's perfectly fine. It's nice and sturdy. They don't use any soft plastics. And you know, you lose some things, like you can't put the cannon in the chest. But if you just, I mean, that's the big thing with this, is so you can put it into the starburst mode. But honestly, I think most often I'd be putting the figure in just like a dynamic pose in normal formation, not trying to put this, because honestly, if I wanted a figure that could replicate one of the special attacks, and I've thought this numerous times before with the Japanese import, I wish they had released accessory packs so I could do like Mystic Dragon and so on and so forth. So it goes one way and then it makes you wanting more, but there's no more to get unless you customize. This gives you exactly one thing. It's well detailed, well painted, does everything it needs to do. So honestly, if I had to make a choice between the two, I'd say go with the domestic import. If you really like the idea of Megazord figurines, because I know the Japanese versions actually do exist, and yes, he can stand on his own without leaning forward. You know, I'm just doing this all quickly. And I'd say go with the domestic import. They've released a few of these figures. I saw several at Toys R Us when I was picking this guy up. So, if you want a Megazord figure in this scale, go with the domestic import. It will not turn you down. It will not set you down. Bandai America, good going. Both come with their swords. They're both well painted. Here's the English one. Here's one of the Japanese ones. Both of the English ones are identical, but it's not really big of a difference, is it? You know, this one's got a bit more metallic painting to it. And, yeah, that's about the long and the short of it. So if you need a Megazord figure, by all means, go get the domestic import. It's perfectly good, perfectly fine, and perfectly enjoyable. It has a few, it is missing a few paint bits here and there. It's got more of a black color as opposed to the white and the yellow on the legs, but not that big of a deal, in my opinion. And if you wanted to paint the black on the leg white and the black on the leg yellow, that's fine, but I actually kind of like the black look. It's missing a little bit of paint. You could definitely customize it and make it a little bit more show accurate, but honestly, I think it's good as it is. You don't really notice the paint apps. They look good for what they are. And that's it. Megazord figure. And with that, we end our shoe.